Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jeffrey Nadell, and this is Mr. Lackey, and this week we are hosting Monthly Roundup.
McDonald's CEO Don Thompson was forced into retirement after the fast food company saw a 21% drop in sales from the previous quarter. Thompson feels like an easy scapegoat, though, since McDonald's could probably easily increase profits simply by getting rid of the world's creepiest mascot. No one wants to eat in a place where the clown out front looks like he's just waiting to abduct your child. Better watch out for Grimace, too.
The Safe Cities Index for 2015 found Tokyo to be the safest city in the world, yet it comes in 16th on the list of best cities to live in. Tokyo, where your neighbors may hate you, but at least they stop short of stabbing you in the throat.
An Alabama middle school principal has asked students to bring in cans of food they could use as projectiles against school shooters. The next time you think about complaining about what you're learning in school, remember, you could be in Alabama, where today's lesson is that a thrown can of peas is an equal match for a bullet traveling 1,700 miles per hour. The state would instantly become a lot smarter if they just ran a simple experiment called, "Which one can you dodge?"
Last month, President Obama cut short his trip to India, heading to Saudi Arabia to pay his respects following the death of King Abdullah and to renew American relationships with the repressive Saudi government, now helmed by King Salman. For their part, Saudi was more than happy to renew their friendship with American hypocrisy.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg admitted to not being 100% sober during last month's State of the Union address. It's a shame no one thought to interview Ginsburg at the time, since it would have been nice to have seen someone in Washington actually have a reason for the nonsense that comes out of their mouths. Instead, we were treated to Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who delivered the Republican response to the State of the Union address. An address in which President Obama spent hours relentlessly pandering to the middle class. In case you needed further proof that Republicans have little to no clue about the American middle class, Senator Ernst tried to connect with the citizens by describing protocols from what appeared to be a popular CDC biological hazard containment handbook, saying, "My mom would slip plastic bread bags over our feet. The school bus would be filled with rows and rows of young Iowans with bread bags slipped over their feet." But you sort of get the feeling that she was a little out of touch with her everyday constituents. Sounds like Jody had to sift through nuclear waste each morning, not walk through the rain. The National Retail Federation announced that Americans would spend an estimated $700 million on Valentine's Day presents for their pets. As a thank you, thousands of dogs will defecate on the floor while the owners sleep that night. Because they're dogs, and they don't understand a calendar, or holidays, or a gift.
The measles outbreak has now spread to 17 different states, and the anti-vaccination movement continues to take hold, especially in liberal enclaves. Nice work, guys. It's not every day you can give up the scientific high ground to climate change deniers and creationists while risking the lives of others. Stop treating science like an a la carte menu.
Hello, I'm Gabriel Hamoud, and I'm here to talk to you about a new advance in medical education. Just a few years ago, doctors had to spend thousands of hours at a renowned university learning the particulars of anatomy, immunology, surgery, and pharmacy. Now, with Google search, you can become a self-taught expert in a variety of pseudoscientific fields. Features include the ability to spout unverified nonsense about debunked studies, extreme self-importance, knowing better than your medical professional, thinking you have a contagious and deadly disease, and finally causing mass hysteria through misinformation. For more on this development, I went into the field to interview Jenny McCarthy's medical school degree. So, Mr. Degree, how are you doing today? Oh, sorry, Chrome. So I hear you've opened your own university. So, how does it work? So what happens if I want to learn about, let's say, vaccines? Is it true that you can purchase results from a Google search to make one opinion more prevalent than another? So how reliable is the quality of the education provided?
Danielle Lee, a San Francisco Girl Scout, set a record by selling 208 boxes of cookies in just 2 hours. Girl Scout officials were probably skeptical at first given the numbers. Then, when they heard that Lee set up her stand outside a local marijuana dispensary, it all made perfect sense. The government isn't the only one who can make a buck or two off the stoner stereotype.
It's been a rough couple of months for broadcast news, as Fox News was forced to make multiple apologies following terrorism analyst Steve Emerson's comments that Europe was full of no-go zones like Birmingham, England, that were off-limits to non-Muslims. Recent census data has shown that Birmingham is only 22% Muslim.
NBC News anchor Brian Williams was also suspended for 6 months for lying about being on a helicopter in Iraq that was hit by an RPG.
Bill O'Reilly has also been accused of exaggerating his war stories. Well, that's no surprise. Bill O'Reilly exaggerates everything. Just look at his intro.
Caution. You are about to enter the no-spin zone. The factor begins right now.
It's great to know that you can find good old-fashioned intentional deception on both sides of the aisle.
However, it's been a great month for us, as we suddenly look strangely reliable as a news source. Boom! So we'd like to extend a huge thank you to Fox News and NBC News for an endless stream of easy jokes. Thanks, guys! Dominique Strauss-Kahn, the former head of the International Monetary Fund, has been standing trial this month for pimping. Strauss-Kahn claimed he attended the alleged orchestrated sex parties only 4 times a year because he was too busy, quote-unquote, saving the world. I'm not sure what's dumber here. The fact that Strauss-Kahn apparently thinks there's a 5 sex party limit before it qualifies as pimping, or the fact that he thinks he's been saving the world.
David Axelrod, the former political aide to President Obama, revealed in his book that Obama lied about his stance on gay marriage during the 2008 election. Axelrod claims that Obama lied about his support of gay marriage during this time to help his political career. The revelation was truly shocking to the one person left in America who believes that politicians are honest.
Samsung's line of voice recognition smart TVs is raising eyebrows this month after one Reddit user discovered a portion of the Samsung's privacy policy that advises users to be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that will be among the data captured and transmitted to a third party through your use of voice recognition. The statement has invited comparisons to Orwellian literature, with one Twitter user showing it side by side with a similar line from Orwell's classic 1984. The NSA, after hearing of the incident, chuckled softly to itself and went back to listening to you sing Shake It Off for the 100th time this week.
Lawmakers in the UK have proposed banning bigots from Facebook and Twitter after a slew of hateful messages flooded British social media. I'm sorry, can someone here help me? I do realize these posts are despicable, but I seem to miss the second part of the free speech statement, where it says you're only allowed to use free speech if other people agree with you.
A North Carolina man, Craig Hicks, stands accused of shooting and killing his 3 Muslim neighbors. Hicks defined himself as an anti-theist, and a Facebook post attributed to him read, "If you plan to be enjoying heaven while multitudes are tortured, then you are as much a sociopath as the God that you worship." Hicks has been described as suffering from severe mental illness. You know, because he's white and the victims weren't. Otherwise, we'd be calling this a terrorist attack.
A Missouri couple was arrested for allegedly arranging to have their 6-year-old boy kidnapped. The reason? They wanted to teach the boy a lesson because he was being too nice to people. It's always nice to find enterprising young parents finding new ways to avoid winning any sort of Parent of the Year award.
A Republican invitation to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has caused tension within Congress. The House Speaker did not consult with the White House about the proposed address, a breach of standard protocol, and many now see the speech as an attempt to undermine Obama's nuclear negotiations with Iran. As a result, many Democrats have publicly stated that they will not attend the address. Many in Israel are also torn over the idea as it comes just prior to Israeli elections. After years of watching Congress bog things down here by getting very little done, it's nice to see them taking their show to the international stage. Congress, never content to complicate things in just one country.
Harper Lee, author of To Kill a Mockingbird, announced this month that she would be publishing a long-lost sequel to her seminal novel. The announcement was greeted with a great surprise to the literary world. Who knew Harper Lee was still alive?
Boston has been pounded by record snowfall over the past month. National Guard troops had to be deployed to help move 6 feet of snow that fell in just 17 days, and snow has had to be dumped into the Boston harbor. Seems pretty clear that even Mother Nature thinks the Patriots cheated. A constitutional showdown arrived in Alabama when Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore instructed judges in the state not to issue marriage licenses to gay couples in the state following a federal judge's decision to overturn Alabama's ban on same-sex marriage. National media expressed shock and revulsion at the order given by Chief Justice Moore. But should they really? I mean, that just makes us look stupid. In reality, it's Alabama that's stupid. Which takes us to our new segment. How stupid is Alabama? Alabama is so stupid, they did not legalize interracial marriage until 2000.
Alabama is so stupid that they celebrated Robert E. Lee Day on MLK Day.
Alabama is so stupid, they didn't ratify the 13th Amendment until 2008.
Alabama is so stupid that you can marry your own family members there.
The fact is, expecting Alabama to be forward-thinking is like thinking bleach will turn your clothes black.
Expecting Alabama to be forward-thinking is like talking to your dog and expecting it to respond to you in English.
Shame on you, America, for expecting more out of Alabama. Some Vermont residents were outraged by a proposal to add a Latin phrase to the state's motto when they mistook the language for Spanish. One internet commenter complained, saying, "Vermont ain't no Latino area." Pretty impressive statement, since it's not every day you can show an ignorance of 3 different languages in a simple 5-word sentence.
A man in the UK is listening to Nickelback for 164 hours straight to raise money for charity. So far, he has raised $15,554 for charity. Next week's headline, Nickelback man dies, claws own ears out, suffers aneurysm.
Marie Harf, the State Department's deputy spokesman, appeared on MSNBC this month to discuss the situation with ISIS. Harf addressed the conflict by stating, "We cannot win this war by killing them. We cannot kill our way out of this war." "Wrong!" replied every war throughout history.
And that is our show for this afternoon. I am Jeffrey Nadell.
And I'm Mr. Lackey. We'll see you again next month. The world isn't getting any smarter, so we'll be here to show you exactly how dumb it really is.